away from the playoff zone. United 13th at the moment. United on a fine run of league form, 1 defeat in 10 games, giving them a confident platform to attack Luton's far from impressive home record. Graham Sellers brings us the highlights.
Clayton ready to pass the Torquay free kick to either Hapgood wearing 11 or Gibbs wearing 3. It's going to be Gibbs to strike. It's a good strike, and that could have gone anywhere. Paul Gibbs certainly can strike the ball hard, and that could have easily have ended up in the back of the net. Hapgood. Gibbs under some pressure from Fotiadis, and that's a long-range shot from Gibbs, and super save there by Foyer. Well, Gibbs just happy to try one from long range there, and Foyer, a giant at 6'8", stretching all the way for that one. Paul Gibbs with Torquay's 4th corner. We've had 37 minutes. Here it comes. Foyer's gone too far, and Gittins has headed wide of the post. It's still in play though. Gibbs a little bit too far. Watson puts it back in, but that one has gone out this time. And that header is flying wide. Alexander comes inside of Gibbs, and Hill happy to try one. Greg does well to get down to his left quickly and smother the danger. Gibbs has a long delay with this throw-in. Jack. Clayton likes to rasp them from here, and that wasn't far wide. Well, there was a long delay with the throw-in, but Paul Gibbs seemed to know what he was doing. It eventually fell for Clayton, and he loves to hit them from that distance. Clayton does exceptionally well to block that. Bedu. Still Bedu. Comes down in the penalty area, and referee Paul Durkin had no hesitation in pointing to the spot immediately. Bedu crashed to the floor. It was a heavy challenge which came in from Alan White, who's still having words with Bedu, but that doesn't matter. It's a penalty to Torquay United. Here comes Gibbs. Cool as you like, Paul Gibbs puts Torquay United into the lead with a penalty that was unstoppable. Thorpe in a good old tussle with Gittins there. Alexander takes the free kick. Some defending to be done here. Watson does it. A shot comes in, and it's narrowly wide from Julian James. And to be fair, that wasn't a bad effort at all.
I thought we started very, very well and put Luton under a lot of pressure. Didn't allow them to play their football. And I felt we looked dangerous on the break. Delighted with Tony Beddoes' performance today. He's come in for Andy McFarland, who's out injured. And, you know, defensively, he's worked hard. And he's caused problems when going forward and when we've got the ball. And done extremely well for the goal. Got himself into a dangerous area, and the lads brought him down. And we deserved the penalty. And everything else was left to Paul Gibbs to finish it off. Obviously, the confidence is high. When things are going well, you know, obviously, everybody wants the ball. And at the moment, as a team, collectively, we're working extremely hard and making it very difficult for teams. And that was the big plus today. The work rate was phenomenal, and like I said, we rode our luck a little bit and towards the end. The last couple of minutes, we lived a little bit dangerously, and Luton had a couple of chances. But on the day, I felt we deserved our luck.
So, a great day for...
Maintained their steady progress after a 6-goal thriller at Barnet, where they stretched their impressive run to just 1 defeat in 13 games. The elusive Rodney Jack earned them a 19th-minute penalty, and FA Cup hero Paul Gibbs again made no mistake from the spot. It took Barnet 10 minutes to get back on terms, highly rated striker Sean Devine crossing from the byline for Scott McLeish to head home the equaliser. All square at half-time and all set for a dramatic second period. Torquay regained the lead in the 57th minute when Jack outpaced the Barnet defence to score. 2 minutes later, and it was honours even again as Devine marked his comeback after a transfer dispute with a goal that keeper Matthew Gregg perhaps should have prevented. Barnet went ahead for the first time in the 66th minute of a game you just couldn't take your eyes off. Devine no doubt impressing the talent scouts in the stand. But Torquay are a tough side to beat these days, and the goals are coming from all quarters. John Gittins getting the one that earned them a well-deserved point 3 minutes from time.
And don't forget, more a couple of years ago, the lowest point of a pretty dreadful season. Thankfully, things have turned round under Kevin Hodges, and United went into this year's encounter with realistic hopes of promotion. Watching the match for us, Seth Conway.
Just one defeat in 11 games is Torquay's impressive record as they look to convert their knack of drawing into winning and build on that fine FA Cup win last week. They've got to defend early on, though, as David Doria can get the head in, but Matthew Gregg is safely there to collect and avoid any danger for Torquay in the early stages. Michael Walsh will throw a long one into the penalty area, and it's in. Alex Calvo-Garcia grabs his 7th goal of the season. He's been a year in English football now as the man from Eibar in Spain. What a way to mark that anniversary. Torquay 0, Scunthorpe 1. It was a really simple move. Walsh hurled the ball into the penalty area. The flick came over, and there was Garcia to finish the job. Ball by Watson. On by Gibbs. Rodney Jack can get there. He'll go for a shot himself. And it wasn't far away from Rodney Jack. Almost an immediate reply from Torquay. Rodney Jack giving that a fair old whack. Only the top of the crossbar coming to Tim Clark's safety in the Scunthorpe goal. Tony Beddoe will make it with a great tackle against Russell Wilcox. He's got Jack waiting in the middle. Here is Jack. And is the ball going to cross the line? It is now from Gibbs. Paul Gibbs grabs his 6th goal of the season. How about that for a return? And Torquay are back in this game. Air. Doria waits in the middle. It's going to come to Doria. Oh, that's a fine goal from Scunthorpe right on half-time. And it's a deserved lead as they've dominated large spells of this game. No wonder they bowed to David Doria. Torquay 1, Scunthorpe 2. A little bit of space open for him. Finds Rodney Jack. In turn finds Paul Gibbs. It's a fine effort from Gibbs. Clark lost his handling. And Andy Gurney couldn't quite get there. Into Clayton. Andy Gurney may have made it. Rodney Jack does make it. Oh, Rodney Jack. It's his 2nd chance in this game where he's come mightily close. Always full of tricks, Rodney Jack. Now can find Gary Clayton. That's John Gittins. Might try one from range. It hits Hapgood. Oh, unfortunately for Torquay, went straight into the hands of Tim Clark. Forrester now. John Eyre pulls away to the right. He gets it now. Forrester goes back into the middle, as does Doria. Alex Watson has no other option but to put it behind. Corner driven out to Doria. Changes the angle and finds Wilcox. And with 20 minutes to go in this game, Scunthorpe extend their lead. Torquay 1, Scunthorpe 3. It was coming, you just had that feeling. John Eyre has some space to cross. Alex Watson makes sure it doesn't come any further. Scunthorpe will have the corner. In comes the corner. It comes to Garcia. And how about that, says Calvo-Garcia. It's so simple. Torquay 1, Scunthorpe 4. The Spaniard gets his 2nd of the game. forward by Gibbs, away by Wilcox. Now Tully. Gurney can turn. Has a bit of space to work with. Oh, it's a fine goal from Andy Gurney. An immediate reply from Torquay. Gurney gets his 3rd goal of the season. But with 10 minutes to go, whether it'll be much than just a consolation, I don't know. Torquay 2, Scunthorpe 4.
We badly needed a win today, really. But we didn't start very well. They were up for it more than us, and all through the game, we didn't really get into our stride, really.
Scunthorpe look like a side who'll probably get promotion this season. You'll be hoping for the playoffs, obviously. Does it give you a nice test to be able to see a side that play good football like that?
It does, yeah, but I mean, we're disappointed that we haven't been able to play our football today, Obviously, like you say, they are one of the best sides we played, and they probably will be up at the top of the league come the season, but we're just already gutted not to get 3 points today.
So that result leaves Torquay 15th in Division 3, but still just 4 points away from the playoff zone. Well, what tie against Watford coming up, but it all kicked off at Rochdale yesterday. United aiming for the victory that will put them a step closer to the promotion race. And in the commentary box at Spotland, Graham Sellers.
7 minutes gone, first corner. Gibbs takes it, it's a decent one, and it almost went straight into the net. Cleared at near post. Well, as that corner came in there from Gibbs, one of the defenders at near post must have got rid of it. Robinson needs some more support. Finds it in Jack. Very tricky, Rodney Jack. The defenders don't know what to do with him at times. Gibbs. Jack again with just one defender this time. Might be happy to try another shot, maybe. Hapgood. Defenders in the way. Jack. Oh, it hit the crossbar. Well, Rodney Jack always willing to try a shot. That was a real cracker. It took a touch. Stewart. Dangerous ball in. Header comes in from Leonard. Well, Ken Vasey was backpedaling, but I'm sure he had that glancing header covered there from Mark Leonard, Rochdale's captain. Watson, right in front of the Torquay dugout. The wind has held that one up. Gittins with the header. Jack did well. Gibbons, first time shot there from Gibbs. Not too far over the crossbar, that one. Gurney. Torquay with a bit of space. Jack. Jack's done well. He's made a lot of space for himself. It's a good ball in. Gurney straight at the keeper. And anywhere else, and that would have been a goal. Well, Rodney Jack did exceptionally well there. Created his own space, and Gurney stole in inside the defence, and the keeper, to his credit, did well. Well, Leonard gave away possession, but he's got the ball back again. Needs support fast. He's lost possession, the captain. Hill. Jack's clear. Rodney Jack. It's an excellent finish from Jack. Well, you've only got to give this man one bite of the cherry, and if he's clear of the defence, you've no chance whatsoever. A clinical ball by Kevin Hill split the defence open, and Rodney Jack's finish was just right out of the top drawer. Rochdale 0, Torquay 1, 51 minutes, Rodney Jack. Robinson gives away possession. Rochdale threatening. Bryson finds Stewart. Laid off for Leonard. Chance here for Rochdale. Takes a deflection. And Torquay live to fight another day. Well, it wouldn't fall for Rochdale then, but when it fell to Leonard, the defence were up to the task. Certainly is played at an electrifying pace, this game. And let's see what Kevin Hill can do now. He's slotted in Jack. There's Bedu and Hapgood. Jack elects to shoot. Very cross with himself. That one miles wide of the target. Well, Rodney Jack perhaps had one or two other options there. There was Bedu and Hapgood. making their runs at this side of the penalty area. That shot some distance wide. Bailey with the free kick. Gittins. Gout with the shot. The forest of legs was too dense. Hill away. Now Hapgood. Cleared of the defence almost. He has Jack to his left. Elects to shoot. They always say shoot across the face of goal. Had that have been spilled, there might have been a chance for Jack. Perhaps if Hill was given another chance, he might have directly passed to Rodney Jack there, who seemed to be in a better position than himself. Mark Stewart. Keith Hill. Gauk. There's a lot of screaming going on at the far side of the penalty area. Chance there for Robson. Thick of the action immediately, and he's put that one well wide. Fourth corner of the game for Rochdale in the dying moments. It's a dangerous one. Vasey punches. Bailey back out to Stewart. Robbed by Torquay, and now it's 3-on-1 at the back. And it's Kevin Hill. Beddoe. Jack's calling for the ball. It might come to him. Rodney Jack is offside. The goal won't count. And he was screaming for the ball in any instance way before it actually landed at his feet. The assistant referee foiling them on that occasion. Referee John Kirby's whistle is drowned out by boos echoing around Scotland for their team's display. Cheers and jubilation from the support that's come up from the West Country. Rodney Jack's goal on 51 minutes gives the Gulls 3 points. Final score, Rochdale 0, Torquay 1.
It was a tremendous result for us. I suppose the most pleasing thing is that we've bounced back after the defeat against Scunthorpe last week. And in the manner of the performance, as you said, it was great. The lads didn't allow Rochdale an inch, you know, that was all over the park. Didn't allow them to settle. And quite honestly, I think we could have got probably a couple of goals there. Rodney's sort of caught them on the break on a couple of occasions and quite easily could have scored 2 or 3 goals. But the one that he did take, I thought he took it exceptionally well. And, yeah, we deservedly won the match.
Brilliant result that for Torquay, and it lifts them back into the top half of the 3rd Division table. More importantly, just 3 points separate them from the playoff zone.
More. Let's go live to the ground now and join John Ayres.
Well, Torquay United must be very pleased with their performance this afternoon. They were never overawed by their 2nd Division opponents. They're now in the draw for the 3rd round of the Cup, but first they have to go to a replay. It was Watford who opened the scoring in this match after some poor marking let in 17-year-old Gifton Noel-Williams, who coolly planted the ball past Ken Vasey. But Torquay United refused to allow the 2nd Division opponents to dominate, and Andy Gurney produced a delightful finish to put the goals level with his 5th goal of the season, sending the fans ecstatic. Watford continued to put Torquay United under pressure, and late in the first half, Ronnie Rosenthal set up Mika Hyde, who put in a good shot, forcing a save from Ken Vasey, a touch which kept the goals in the game. The second half died off a bit, and Torquay were forced to defend in numbers to deny the 2nd Division league leaders from snatching a winner. They now go to Vicarage Road in a week's time for a replay. Well, I'm joined now by the head coach of Torquay United, Kevin Hodges. Were you pleased with today's performance?
Yes, very pleased with the outcome. I felt we played very well in the first half. Unfortunately, we went behind, perhaps against the run of play. But all credit to the players. They kept going, they kept their heads up, and we got ourselves back into the game with a great goal from Andy Gurney. Rode our luck a little bit in the second half, maybe, but Ken Vasey's made some great saves, kept us in the tie, and that's what he's paid to do. And, yeah, all credit to the players today.
Anything to worry about going into the replay?
The thing is, we're still in the competition, and that's the main thing. Obviously, it's still going to be very difficult up there, but we've given them a very good game today. And, you know, hopefully we go up there and justify ourselves and get a result. Who knows?
Obviously, you've still got a replay to come, but can you think about the 3rd round draw yet and who you might like?
Well, obviously, everybody would say Man United, wouldn't they? But, no, I think it's too early to sort of forecast that type of thing. It's important that we go up there and get into the next round. It's going to be very difficult, but we'll give it our best shot.
Kevin Hodges, thank you very much. Back to you, Roger. Hard for an equaliser. Striker Rodney Jack was a constant threat. But it wasn't long before Torquay levelled and earned a replay through an excellent chip from Andy Gurney. Watford continued to press, and Ken Vasey had to produce a string of fine saves, setting up a replay for next week. But the Hornets won't take Torquay for granted.
They've gone up to Luton and won 1-0, and I know that Luton are not having the best of seasons, but that is a first-class result. Torquay went to Ipswich and drew 0-0. You just can't take anything for granted.
A Plum home tie against Premiership opposition is no better incentive to go and get a result next week, but Goals boss Kevin Hodges refuses to think about Wednesday yet, until next Tuesday's date at Vicarage Road has been negotiated first.
Plymouth Argyle's chairman Dan McCauley.
Race, and a victory at Rotherham yesterday would put them just 1 point behind Devon rivals Exeter. All that and a cup replay at Watford to look forward to on Tuesday. Taking us through the action at Millmoor, Graham Sellers.
Thomas. Jack takes over the reins. The Rotherham players are backing off. Tries one from long range. Well, Rodney Jack's never afraid of shooting from any distance, but I'm afraid he let his colleagues down on that occasion. There was Thomas and Hapgood making runs away to his right-hand side. Richardson. Well, Robinson did well. Hapgood. Jack has got to the ball first. Fancies his chances. He was caught late there by Martin Clark. And I wonder what action the referee will take here, because Jack, you could have said, was through on goal there. Martin Clark was the offender. It's a free kick to Torquay United, and whatever further action Roy Pearson from Peterlee, our referee today, takes. Hapgood to the right-hand side. It will be Gibbs to strike it. It's a good effort from Paul Gibbs, but it was always fading away from the target. And a little bit of trickery from Martin Clark. David Bass again. Roscoe attacking Torquay, and that's a shot from Taylor, and it's not far off the target there. Must have taken a deflection because it's gone off for a corner. Well, Scott Taylor wasn't far off the target there as he drilled that one in left-footed, just past that right-hand upright. Gibbs accused of handball by the supporters. Referee Pearson agrees. And we've got a free kick situation here that could cause 1 or 2 problems for Torquay. Taylor and Glover are in the centre. It's Roscoe. He's having a pot at goal. Vasey taking no chances. Well, you wondered whether it was going to be Roscoe or Garner. Roscoe looked a likely source, and it wasn't a bad effort. Richardson. Who wants the ball? Trevor Burry wants it. Paul Gibbs wants it even more. Roscoe at far post, cleared by Gittins, and danger is still evident. This is Glover. Chance here for Rotherham. Excellent save by Vasey. It's still free, and that's a bad miss. Well, Torquay were at 6s and 7s there. Firstly, that shot came in from Glover. It was an excellent save by Vasey. Then a super block came in, and then eventually that shot from David Bass was a long way wide of the target. Hapgood looking for the run of Gurney, appeals against handball, and referee Pearson has awarded a penalty. Well, the ball was floated in by Hapgood, and it was Roscoe that seemed to have his arm up at the left-hand side. And he's now arguing with referee Roy Pearson, and I think he's said a little bit too much. It's a yellow card for Andy Roscoe, and it's a penalty to Torquay United. Paul Gibbs will take it. Ice cool once more. Paul Gibbs has scored from the spot for Torquay United, and Rotherham are behind at Millmore. 13 minutes gone in the second half, and that handball by Roscoe has carved an opening for Torquay, and given the chance, Gibbs has delivered the goods. Taylor looking for ideas, I do believe. David Bass tries to dink one in there, and that's not a good clearance by Gitton. Shot comes in from Bass, and Vasey must have seen that one late. David Bass with a shot for Rotherham. They've had precious little else in the second half. Trevor Burry prepares to take Rotherham's 10th corner. Some of the fans calling it the last chance. There's only a minute or two left. It's dangerous. Vasey's come for it. Gibbs trying to head that one clear. This is Bass. It's not clear yet. It is now. Jack will get there before the keeper. Rodney Jack. He has Hapgood sprinting to his left-hand side. Tries a shot, good save by the keeper. Well, Rodney Jack was in a good position down that right-hand side. He had Hapgood in support. It was a good shot.
We are looking for consistency, and I stressed before the game that it was important. There was no room for any complacency whatsoever, and I felt that the players went about their jobs in the right way, and a very good result. And it's lifted us above Rotherham now, and yeah, very pleased with the way things are going.
And that excellent victory for Torquay has taken them to within 1 point of Exeter City. The Grecians 5th, United now up to 8th. And good luck.
The giant killing, but finally went down 2-1, as Hamish Marshall reports.
Kevin Hodges was right when he said the Gulls hadn't missed their best chance after the first game ended in a draw. But extra time was just 17 seconds old when Gifton Noel Williams put the Hornets ahead. That would have finished many teams, but not the Gulls. They came straight back into it, and Gary Clayton's pinpoint free kick got them back on terms. Clayton's been crucial in the Gulls' excellent run of form. But with penalties looming, disaster struck. Noel Williams, who also scored in the first game at Plainmoor, sealed a third-round meeting with Sheffield Wednesday, ending Torquay's brave run.
It's Panto time again, and tonight we're visiting...
Poets haven't affected their pre-Christmas promotion challenge, and with several crucial games coming up in the next couple of weeks, they were aiming to make the perfect start with a victory over the league leaders, Notts County. Martin Dean, the commentator.
Well, it's 50 years since Notts County last won a league game here at Plainmoor, but they're likely to be in confident mood this afternoon. The league leaders are unbeaten in the last 4 games, and not surprisingly, they name an unchanged side. Torquay, though, forced into making a couple of changes through suspension. They're without Gary Clayton and Paul Gibbs, so Chris Ledbetter starts his first game. And Paul Mitchell is back for his first game since September, when he was forced out with a hernia injury. Jason Roberts, the new signing who joined the club on loan from Wolves yesterday, has to be content with a place on the substitutes bench to start with. Stroder getting up well for that one. Look on from Jones. Farrell in with a chance. Vasey making a good save. Still the danger not entirely cleared. Robson has it. We'll look to get the cross in. Still Torquay finding themselves under pressure. And now Finnan is fouled, but Kenny Vasey has been in pretty good form since he displaced Matt Gregg from the Torquay goal. Coming to Torquay's rescue once more, as Farrell and Jones combined. Good save by the goalkeeper. This is Jones laying it down for Farrell, who'll get the shot in, and he scored! And Sean Farrell puts Notts County in front. And really, Torquay's defence caught in some disarray. It was the two big strikers who combined. Good knockdown, in fact, from Gary Jones, and then Sean Farrell tucking it into the far corner of the net beyond Kenny Vasey. And Notts County lead by 1-0. Click on from Thomas. Redmile hooking it away. Mitchell looking to turn it back in. Gittings. Watson. Hill has made a run. Gets in the shot, which is well saved by Darren Ward. Well, the goalkeeper just hesitated for a moment or two, really, when that long ball came in. He took the favourite to start with, but Hill getting there just ahead of him. In the end, Ward doing well to block the shot. Rodney Jack. Suddenly finding a little bit of space. What can Rodney Jack do here? Oh, good effort from him, good save from Darren Ward. That was Rodney Jack, back to something like his best. Not had too many chances so far in this first half to display those considerable skills of his. Suddenly weaved his way into the gap there and forced Ward into the save. Robinson looking to hoof it downfield. Redmile trying to turn it back in. Barraclough has given that one away. This is Hapgood. Rodney Jack just inside him. Good, he made a run into the middle, and Hapgood, seeing the goalkeeper off his line, tried a rather cheeky little trip, which Ward in the end did well to turn away. And towards Farrell. And Robinson knocking it forward. Redmile underneath it. Hapgood. Again, Redmile in the way. Now Gurney making the block. That might fall for Rodney Jack. First time effort. And Ward getting it at the second attempt. Certainly Torquay looking a little more purposeful at the start of this second half. And Watson. Actually everybody in the Notts County half. It won't be now though. Watson forced to backpedal. Watson again. Oh, clearance coming off Martindale. And now Finnan. Need to get the cross in towards Farrell, and that is 2-0. And really, Torquay paying the penalty for some sloppy defending. Well, Kenny Vasey's clearance wasn't as convincing as it might have been. And Watson came across, gave the ball away. And when it was turned into the middle, Sean Farrell was left with the simplest of chances to make it 2-0. Mitchell turning it back for Jamie Robinson. Better outside him, bringing it forward for Roberts instead. Now Gittings will try the shot from there, not a bad effort either. Well, that fairly skidded across the turf from John Gittings. And Darren Ward doing well in the end to turn it away for the corner. Gittings playing really as an out-and-out striker now. Mitchell wide for Rodney Jack. Steve Tully, a little bit of a gap in front of him. Good chip in for Andy Gurney. Oh, good save from Ward. And that could have been another spectacular goal from Andy Gurney. He doesn't have a habit of curling them in from inside the penalty area.
We started a little bit sluggish today, and they've obviously scored after 9 minutes through bad defending. And, you know, we've given ourselves a lot to do. We've had a couple of chances, though. Rodney Jack and Kevin Hill went very close in the first half. But, you know, we kept going. Second half, I felt that we dictated the pace of the game a little bit more. Created a number of chances, but it didn't quite go for us. And then we've got caught with the second one, you know, probably against a run of play. And at a vital stage, you know, because we were well on top. We were creating opportunities. And then we've committed suicide at the back defensively, perhaps overplaying a little bit. And we've given them the second goal, which is, you know, then enabled them to sort of sit on it a little bit and defend their 2-goal lead.
So that defeat means Torquay drop down to 10th, but they're still just 1 point away from the playoff zone. So that's it.
Line, but somehow he's finding some space. Good cross in as well towards Andy Gurney. And oh, that's the first of the game. And it's been turned in by Chris Ledbetter. Gale floating it in towards Steve Flack. The knockdown, Illman getting a touch on it. Greg having to scramble across his line again. I think he may well have given a penalty.
So Darren Rowbottom with a chance to score his 15th of the season, which he does. It's a good ball forward towards Jason Roberts, who might just have got a bit of a nudge, and the referee says that's a penalty. Paul Gibbs, who gave away that penalty in the first half, now maybe has the chance to atone. Gibbs against Ashley Bayes, and he's hit it over the top.
Good afternoon and welcome to a special festive edition of the West Country Match, with the spotlight firmly on yesterday's big Devon derby at St James's Park. Both teams warmed up for the big match with impressive results on Boxing Day. City grabbing a point at Cardiff courtesy of Neil Illman's late header, and Torquay rounding off a 2-0 home win against Swansea with an excellent goal from loan signing Jason Roberts. So the stage was set for the St James's Park promotion showdown. Just 2 points separated the teams before kick-off, and with a liberal sprinkling of local rivalry, it promised to be an action-packed 90 minutes. Our commentator, Martin Dean.
Well, it's 70 years almost to the day since St James's Park first played host to a local derby between these two teams. Exeter running out 5-0 winners on that occasion, but few of the matches since then can have been more eagerly anticipated than this one. Well, both teams are still very much in the promotion hunt. Exeter remain in 4th place despite picking up just 2 wins in the last 10 league games. But there have been signs in the last couple of matches that they may be pulling out of that bad patch. Manager Peter Fox makes just the one change from the side which drew at Cardiff on Boxing Day. Neil Illman, who scored at Ninian Park, starts the game with Andy Cyrus relegated to the bench. Well, striker Darren Rowbottom has played a key part in Exeter's success story. He has 14 goals to his credit, including the 2 which sank Torquay at Plainmoor back in September, and he'll be anxious to add to that tally in his final game before starting a 2-match suspension. Loan signing Jason Roberts lines up for his first local derby, but the signs are that he's already becoming a firm favourite with the Torquay faithful. His prolific goal-scoring form for Hayes prompted Wolves to splash out £250,000 on him, and as a nephew of the great Cyril Regis, he clearly has the pedigree to go all the way to the top. Well, Torquay's victory over Swansea on Boxing Day leaves them just 2 points behind Exeter, but coach Kevin Hodges has resisted the temptation to stick with a winning side. Gary Clayton and Paul Gibbs both return after suspension, while Hodges is forced to make a change in goal, where young Matthew Gregg replaces the injured Ken Basie. Well, Mickey Pearce from Portsmouth is this afternoon's referee as he gets this 86th league meeting between these two sides underway. Exeter having the better of things so far. They've won 35 of the previous contests, Torquay just 25. Bright sunny morning here now at St James's Park. Conditions just about ideal for football. Gale with a chance to get it forward for Exeter. Took a little too long, I think, for Rowbottom. But, Watson forced to put the ball out of play.